Hi everybody, Dorothy here, Professional Astrologer. Today I'm going to talk to you about the week of February 4th. And starting this week, we actually have a new moon, which is not an eclipse because it's the first lunar event we've had that's not an eclipse for 2019. So I'm going to fill you in on how to use the new moon and everything else that's going on this week. So stay with me and I'll be right back. All right, welcome back. So the big news of the week is what we really start with, and that is the new moon. It's at 15 degrees of Aquarius. It is on Monday afternoon, evening, 4 p.m. East Coast time. The new moon in Aquarius. So what do we do with this? Now, some people are familiar, so set your goals and set goals and intentions after the moon is new. So anytime Monday evening and even into Tuesday, because the moon in Aquarius goes all the way from Monday into Tuesday. So we have all of this time to set goals. Now, why? Why do we do this? Then one of the important things to do is just to set intentions. Some people like to write stuff. Some people just like to think about it or create vision boards. Whatever your genre, do it. Set goals based on Aquarian energy. And that is connecting with groups of like-minded people, finding your tribe, if you will, finding your other family, people who vibrate the same as you, people who have similar beliefs as you. And it doesn't have to be spiritual, metaphysical, it can be, but not everybody watching this kind of stuff is into all of the vibrating energy healing things. If you are, good. Go for it. Find those new groups and get involved, because that's what this Aquarian energy is about. And if you're not involved in metaphysical things, that's beautiful too. Find your knitting group, find your Artist Way group, find whatever it is that's inspiring you, because we're being inspired and asked to find those like-minded people that we really resonate with no matter what we're doing. Aquarius is everything to do with breaking out of our patterns, creating new energy, creating freedom, creating space so we can be innovative and, again, creative. So this new moon is all about that. So another reason that we set this, here's the long reason that we set intentions every new moon, because every new moon has a 3-year cycle that peaks in the middle. So 18 months from February 4th, the full moon will be in the same location this new moon is. So over the next 18 months, we have a period of growth. So if something you've set an intention for and something you're being creative about and really feeling like you're breaking out of an old pattern and cycle, then there is a great opportunity to see how you've worked that and great change 18 months from now. But in the short term, new moon to full moon is simply 2 weeks. And in the next 2 weeks, you can come up with great and new creative and innovative ideas to get out of your old habits and patterns and get involved with new groups that just inspire you. This is the start of the week. This goes through the whole week. We really can feel a lot of this energy flowing through us for the first 2, 3, 4 days of the week. All right? So don't miss that opportunity, because I don't have anything specific to tell you for a Tuesday, February 5th, because the Aquarius moon is still got all the momentum from this new moon. So I want you to know that Monday, Tuesday energy is all connected in everything I just said. All right? Good. On Wednesday, the only activity we actually have going on is the moon is in the sign of Pisces. And so now that we've had all this Aquarius energy, which is very heady, right, is fixed air, now the moon is in a water sign. She prefers those water signs. And so it's time to go with the flow. So by the time we get to Wednesday, the moon will be flowing a little bit more and not quite so heady. So we can just check in and see how we feel about the goals and intentions and the things we've initiated on Monday and Tuesday. So trust your instincts when it comes to the moon in Pisces. So on Thursday the 7th, with the moon still in the sign of Pisces, from morning to evening, the moon is connecting to many planets in many different ways. And that really is the overall theme of that, is going with the flow. Some of the other more significant aspects that are happening is The sun sextiles Jupiter today, and so that gives us opportunities to learn and explore and expand more, all right? And then we also have Mercury in a sextile to Mars, and this engages our need for communicating and interacting with others. Sextiles are easy energies. By geometry, they're 60 degrees, and so they are easy energy, and there is a flow. And with the moon in Pisces, and all of these sextiles going on, it might just be a lazy day and we just let things kind of fly by. So if you're feeling motivated, then it's good to use these energies. But if you're not, yeah, that's okay too, right? Yeah, it is. Because that's just how it goes. Because sometimes we have too much to do, and other times it's just like, let's just kind of take the foot off the gas and just coast for a little while. So on Friday, let's move on to Friday, the moon enters the sign of Aries. So for the last few days, we've sort of been hanging out, just hitting neutral, took our foot off the gas, exhaled a little, just relaxed. But now, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, there is a lot of activity with the moon in the sign of Aries. The first thing I want to talk about first is when the moon is in Aries, the first thing we want to do is take action and not sit still. Moon in Aries is very motivated to do what needs to be done and to immediately do what we see needs to be done. Now, the moon also makes a square aspect to Venus in Capricorn right now. Venus in Capricorn, all about I'm stabilizing what I love, what I value. I want some stability and security. The moon in Aries is just about taking action. So there is a push to stability, but it can also be that Aries moon can create too much friction and tension and stress for what Venus in Capricorn needs. So that means that Friday there is some tension and stress in the air based on what our emotional needs are and how we're taking action, and what we love and value and how we want to feel secure. There is a tug of war going on here. So however you see that, the best thing we can do is stay in our own sacred space, our own safe space, our own solid space. So even if stuff's going on around us, we, and our attitude and how we're looking at things, we can still stay as harmonious and balanced within ourselves as we possibly can, even if there happens to be some tough decisions going on around us or people creating chaos around us, all right? It feels a little tough, and it can be at times, but how you respond to things is what's important. So let's move on to Saturday the 9th. Also on that day, while the moon is still in Aries and still provoking us to take action where we haven't yet, on Saturday, Mercury and Uranus are in a sextile. And so this is an opportunity to step up and take some new action. This is pretty good, honestly. This is not a bad aspect at all. This is about inspiring new thoughts. Sextiles aren't that active. They're pretty easy, lazy aspects, if you will. But Mercury, Uranus, this is about coming up with thought, ideas, and being creative in that sense. All right, let's finish up the week with Sunday, February 10th. The moon is still in Aries, and if you haven't figured it out by now, the moon in Aries is very dynamic, very active, goes after what it wants, doesn't think about it, just goes for it. Just like a little kid. They're innocent, they're pure, they just go for what they want. They don't know about consequences or anything, right? They just go for it. That's the pure heart. That's that pureness of the moon in Aries. But as we're moving through today, Sunday the 10th, we have the moon makes in the afternoon and evening, makes a conjunction to Mars in Aries, and that is in its own sign. So he's pure energy here, but it's all at the very end of Aries. So this pure energy of Mars in Aries, which is very active, dynamic, it's about the I am. It's finally standing up for what it is you want and you believe. It feels it's a very individual feeling, right? So fighting for what you want, taking steps towards what you want. It doesn't have to be a fist fight, a battle, but it can be for some people, because when we have the moon conjunct Mars in Aries, and it's done that for a couple times in the last few weeks, but now Mars is 3 days away from being exactly conjunct Uranus. This happens every couple of years, Mars-Uranus conjunction. This is the last time it's happening in Aries. So if you haven't figured out what it is you need, especially through this week, in whatever is in your energy field, whatever is got your attention right now in your life, circumstances, We all need to step up and do what it is that we need to do, especially if we haven't been doing it to this point. The moon conjunct Uranus and Mars and Uranus, and those two coming together feels very strong and is unexpected and unmanaged energy. So if you have anything, you're watching this ahead of time, you have anything that's upsetting you, building, I recommend that throughout this week, before we even get to Sunday, and then next week, which I'll give you more information about that next week, allow this energy to move. Exercise. Don't sit still. Take an extra walk. Go to the gym a little more often, because that is a way that we can move the Aries energy through us. We can move it. We can't just sit still. Sunday is not a day to sit still. Sunday is a big project day, a big day to have a lot of activity and to stand up for yourself and to define for yourself what it is that you need and want in your life, all right? Because this is a very personal sign, the sign of Aries. And Moon, Mars, Uranus, all coming together on that day. Big day for taking action. See, this is the day the Super Bowl would have been great, but then it might have been too aggressive as opposed to last week, right? So, because last week it was very subdued. I'm recording this before the Super Bowl, so I still have no idea who won. But in the meantime, take good care of yourself. Trust your own intuition. Trust when you know you need to take action. You don't even have to listen to things like this, but just know that now's the time for me to take that step forward towards what it is you want and need as the ambulance flies by. It's so Aries too. Anyways, I'm going to leave you with that. Thank you very much, guys. And please comment, like, share. You know the routine. I'd like to hear what you have to say below as well. Blessings and namaste.